This is the Cruise FM Out of Tune podcast. Here is Stacey and Curtis.
Welcome to episode 10, season 2 of the Out of Tune podcast. It's Stacey and Curtis. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
And this week, I don't think we said last week what we were going to do.
We've been rolling this around for
Yeah.
a while. This was up on the docket before we took our break to transition between season 1 and season 2, but we're back.
Yeah. And so we decided to talk about, I don't want to make it so general as in like life highlights, but you and I have both been in the same-ish kind of career for quite some time. I've been in radio for 25 years.
Yeah. I've been in media for 25 years.
Yeah. Look at us. We do everything the same. We were born the same year.
Right? Same career trajectory.
Ish, yeah.
Yes.
So we just thought of, talking about some highlights because it's not like we're trying to sell people on this industry because it's a weird one.
Pretty much the opposite.
My goodness, if my daughter was like, Mom, I want to be a radio DJ, I'd be like, check yourself, girl, because it's a very different time than it was 25 years ago.
For sure.
100%. My very quick little backstory, just because I think we talked about it before, but I did get into radio by accident. I didn't intend for this to happen. I got back after living overseas for 2.5 years, and I was like, I need a temp job. And I got a temp job at Rolco Radio, and that's what started my career. And fast forward 25 years, and I'm still in it, and I'm really enjoying it. But again, it just wasn't what I had intended to do. I don't think I knew what I wanted to do my whole, when I was little, and even right after high school, I wanted to be a nurse. Mm-hmm. And obviously that did not happen. And I know that I could stop what I'm doing now and become one, but I'm still enjoying myself. So
You have longevity on Saskatoon radio on the morning show that I can only think of one morning show duo that has been on longer than you, I think, at this point.
I think so. I'm doing 13 years now.
That's crazy.
on Cruise
Congratulations,
Mornings.
Stacey.
Thanks.
Seriously, that's actually nuts that someone held the same job for 13 years in radio.
And honestly, I know the whole time flies when you're having, but it really does not feel like 13 years to me at all.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you're clearly doing an amazing job because
stop.
things change at lightning speed in this industry.
They do.
And sometimes the smallest reason is just green light to move things around and shuffle the cards, move the chess pieces.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's been 13 years and
I am very grateful.
Yeah.
I never take my job for granted ever. So
we were kind of joking. I was saying we should do humble brags. But I think you just had a better way of saying it, of doing some highlights from our career as we are thankful for some opportunities.
and some of them are brags. Let's face it. Like, you don't get certain opportunities unless you're in this industry of the media and that sort of thing. So in weird situations, it does end up coming across as that, and that's okay.
Have your career highlights changed with age? Like, you look at the first 5 years, what you were most excited about, and now you look back now.
I don't know. Because my career highlights, and I know it's crazy because I also have a very bad memory.
Okay.
So some of my highlights might have disappeared.
So we're going to be talking about the last couple weeks.
From the records, yeah. So yesterday.
Cool.
But I do, I have been in this for so long that I don't necessarily remember, what I was doing. Because when I first started, I was in sales and marketing in the office. I was typing up proposals for salespeople. And that's what I did. So I'm not going to lie. The career highlights there weren't a ton.
Sure.
But just to, I guess, start mine off is that I have been able to meet quite a few people.
Yeah.
Within this industry. And some of those people have become my absolute best friends, and I'm still friends with them. Shout out to Delee, Stacey, and Candace. I met them in radio, and they are some of my very best friends. But I also got to meet celebrities, and you have had the same situation, I'm positive. And I did get to work in Calgary as well for a stretch. So I got to meet Rihanna. I had a pizza party with Rihanna.
Wow.
Back in 2004.
I didn't know that. That's pretty crazy.
It was very weird. This was obviously before she became huge.
Sure.
I think Pond to Replay had just come out, and it was like, oh, the record rep, Kate, Rihanna's coming to the station. What can you guys do? And we were like, let's do a pizza party. So it was like, sure. We ordered pizza. She hung out with these listeners, and I was chatting with her. She was absolutely lovely. So sweet.
I was on Shaw Arts and Entertainment, as you know, for 8 years. And for me, that used to be what I was so excited about, was these celebrities I got to interview once in a while. But the celebrities I interviewed, like, I don't know if they didn't age well, but I think as time went on and everyone has a podcast and everyone has a platform, and how actors changed. Like, I interviewed Jared Leto in 2007.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so proud of that because everything I read about him said he's standoffish and he's not a good interview. And he really, like, I asked him I did a lot of research.
Good for
I asked
you.
him good questions.
Yep.
After the interview, he was like, thank you, that was a really good interview. But, like, is that, like, people don't like Jared Leto anymore.
Well, that's the thing. Do they not like
They
him?
don't like him.
Okay.
They don't.
I'm not
the
up on
world
my
is kind of
cancel
turned
culture.
on him. Well, he doesn't really get canceled. He just, he was very specific with his roles and his music back in the day. And then he became a superstar. He's had apparently some stinkers, and
I feel
he's
like
kind of a joke.
A bit of a D-bag, is he
And
not?
he's a bit of a D-bag.
I don't know the guy. I've never
Yeah,
even
no,
spoken
but-
to him. But again, that is maybe the perception. But you can still take that as, because at the time,
Sure.
it was the time, right? It was that moment in time, and that is a career highlight for you.
Same
Some
thing
of them
with Kevin
changed.
Smith.
Oh, yeah.
He was like a unicorn. You could not get access to this guy. And just because I drove 5 hours to see him in Edmonton and interview him,
Right.
his people made him talk to me. He canceled every other interview that day.
And
He
talk
sent
to you.
everyone else home, and they're like, you got to talk to this guy because he drove 10 hours to talk to you, and that was the only reason. And he started out grumpy because this is like pre-heart attack Kevin Smith.
Right.
And I
very different outlook.
again complete. I'm not patting myself on the back. It's just like I will step up and I will do when I know they're going to be a difficult interview. I'll try to ask questions that they want to talk about instead of just what everybody asks them all day, every day.
Exactly, because that's got to be annoying.
And I won him over too. And now he had the heart attack. He lost all his weight, and now like he'll talk to you if you walk if you bump into him on the street.
Yeah, so
You
that
know,
moment
he
for
does,
you was an
he does
absolute
interviews
win.
all day, every day now. So
you got difficult Kevin Smith. That's a huge
Yeah.
highlight. Absolutely.
But saying in 2026 that I got to interview Kevin Smith, like he hung out at our vegan restaurant here for like a day,
Yeah.
like a couple of years ago. So a lot of my celebrities back in the day, like I would definitely still be like, oh my God, I got to hang out with Rihanna. But my celebrities seem to have not had their staying power.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mine have always been like musicians.
Yeah.
Mine have never necessarily been actors or well, shouldn't say any actors. I think I got to interview or be around Dan Aykroyd.
When he
was
came
in
through with his
Calgary.
vodka?
When he came through
Yeah.
with his vodka. So I got to chat with him for
Yep.
a millisecond, and he seemed very nice. But again, that was just me being in the vicinity of him.
My one unfortunate is it was like my third week on the job, and I got to go to the WWE locker room when they came to Credit Union Center or
Oh,
Saf's
yeah.
place. And that is cool because nobody has access to these wrestlers anymore. Like I interviewed Brock Lesnar, but it was literally like my third week. So I am just the worst. I am sitting there shaking, being like, how did you get into professional wrestling?
Why are your muscles so big?
So I can't even really take a lot of excitement about that. Like I posted them on YouTube and I'm like, I'm so sorry guys.
Yeah.
This is the worst. Literally third week on the job, third week of trying to do interviews, and I got access to this.
But that's the thing too with us in this industry. Like I have a CD of my very first commercial that I recorded, and my God, it was and it was for a spa. So I was supposed to sound like relaxed and comforting and da da da. I sounded so depressed because I didn't know how to do it. It was my very first one, and when you work in radio, you just voice commercials at work. That's just kind of how it works. That's the unwritten rule. And so I remember the producer being like, hey, I need you on this spot. Can you do it? And I was like, sure. And again, I wasn't on air. I was the girl from the sales and promotions department. And so I did it, and I have it on CD, and it's so bad. But you're early in your career. And so, yeah, your first couple interviews in that scenario are going to be possibly pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then you look back on it fondly and you're like, wow, look how much I've grown.
Sure. I would give my left arm to have that opportunity again. If I could interview Brock Lesnar in 2026, that would
Did I tell you
that would be a career-defining moment.
He's
Yeah,
like
he lives
neighbors
here.
with my uncle.
Really?
He's got a bunch of land
Yeah.
on the
On the
Saskatchewan
border.
Manitoba border.
Yep.
And we were out on a boat ride. My uncle's like, Brock Lesnar lives there, and I was like, can we dock this boat and take a walk? Yeah. I'm sure he'd love that.
Him and his wife Rena Mero. Sable.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
Sable.
Sable.
Is he married to a wrestler?
She was a wrestler.
She was.
/ Playboy, all-time high seller. Yeah.
Interesting.
And they have a couple kids,
Yeah.
and they're also beasts and excelling in every sport possible.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Those genetics are pretty strong.
Crazy.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other little highlight of my career happened just a couple weeks ago. I had the opportunity to do a cooking demonstration at Gardenscape.
Yes.
And this is a very local, personal Saskatoon milestone.
Yeah.
I have always liked to cook. And growing up, my family, we were all kind of hands-on together, making meals. We just really, really enjoyed doing that. We hung out. And even in later years when you lived away and you'd go to mom's for supper, we'd all hang out in the kitchen, chopping, doing things, talking, having a drink. That's what we love so much. And my best friend Candace, hi bestie, she's the director or manager of signature events at Prairie Land.
Yep.
She's like, hey, we need someone to do a cooking demo. Would you be interested? And I was like, oh my God, for real? I've never done this before, but yes.
Yeah.
Because I recognize the opportunity of,
Can I just press pause?
yeah.
Recognize the opportunity. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that with me.
I
That's 90% of my my career is recognizing the opportunity, even though you're not prepared and terrified.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
And that's the thing. Even when I got offered the on-air job on Cruise,
Mm-hmm.
my instinct was like, are you crazy? And then I stopped for a second and I was like, hold up. This opportunity is not going to come around ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Ever, ever, ever. So you should probably do it and see how it goes. And I did. Fast forward 13 years. Holy crap. I'm so grateful. Granted, I'm probably not going to have a cooking show. You never know. But again, just the opportunity to do it. I was like, I might as well. This is pretty cool. I love cooking. I know how to talk in front of people. I got to wear a little headset and there was a camera above me watching me chop. And I did 2 cooking demos.
And I'm sorry I missed that because my
That's-
child was sick. I
that's
told you I
okay.
was going to be there.
You were going to come hold my ingredients for me.
I was.
But you know what? It went totally fine. I had people from the audience asking me questions afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, this is, what cooking people do and what they are used to. And so I don't know. That was just really cool. And apparently it went so well. They want to do it again next year. So now I might just be that
So
girl.
when do you start your cooking show?
I don't know. I'm accepting offers.
Well, yeah. I mean,
S.
there's,
Cooper,
there's
cruisefm.com.
platforms everywhere.
That's true.
No, I'm serious.
Well, and that's the thing. I
That's something, we're having this conversation in real time. But if that's ever something you truly want to do.
I also share a lot on my Instagram, Stacey Cooper, STACIE, of my own cooking that I do at home because
Yeah.
I love cooking and I love looking at a picture of a beautiful meal.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite things. And so that's what kind of fed into this opportunity / career highlight. And for that, I am so grateful. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe you'll see me on a cooking show. Who knows?
You ever want to put together a cooking show?
Will you film it for me?
I would love to film it for you.
Beauty.
There's a whole bunch. I mean, YouTube and the internet aside, there's still Rogers TV here that will air anything homemade that's quality.
Yeah.
And, there's a Dufferin Avenue Media Network that's always looking for content as well.
Holy crap.
That has tons of views, hundreds of subscribers a day. News, I'm serious. He's killing it on that network.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, I'm open to opportunities.
Exactly. All right. 2 of my career highlights are both times Andy Ross hired me here.
And he was the one who gave me my on-air opportunity.
Yes,
So,
we got to
yeah,
shout out Andy Ross because not once but twice did that man literally change my life. I was at Shaw, and that last year it was getting very, Netflix had dropped. Everybody was kind of scrambling. We really didn't know what the future was going to be, let alone cable television,
Right.
access TV. So it was a very direction from above was changing on a daily basis, and it was
Tumultuous?
very frustrating. And everything that we had been doing and that was working was like, no, do this. And it was literally Stacey, like, oh, someone in Winnipeg did a story about camping, and we posted it online and it got a bunch of views. So drop everything. We're going to do stories about camping. And then 2 days later was like, someone from Alberta got into a fight with Parks Canada. We're not doing camping stories anymore. Like, there was just no anchor.
Oh, man.
And it was very frustrating. And everything I loved about that job was kind of slowly slipping away.
Oh, man.
And then mutual friend Jessica Babick, who worked here at the time,
Yep.
I was complaining to her one night. I was very frustrated. We were working at the Blades game together, and she said, we're hiring a writer. You should apply. And Andy Ross hired me. And then when I took my little sabbatical
Yeah.
in like 2018 or whatever, I didn't officially leave, but I was like kind of on a leave, and I was
Yep.
being the stay-at-home dad. And I was getting excited. There were kind of moments of like bringing me back, and then COVID happened.
Right.
And I had pretty much come to peace with that. I will never come back here.
right.
Because, I mean, no one's hiring anywhere, right? It's COVID. And that was a really dark time where I didn't know what I was going to do because my skills do not translate well into the real world.
Well, and sometimes you think, and maybe, I don't know, it's just me, but like companies hiring people back. Does that happen all the time? You know, like this
Yeah.
company does in hindsight, now that I say that, they do hire people back.
Sure.
But maybe that might not have been your first thought at the time too, right? Like, will they take me back?
Yeah, there was talk about me coming back. But then, like I said, I think COVID happened. And instead
Yeah.
of bringing people back, a lot of people were gone
True.
because it's COVID.
Yeah.
So I had literally kind of just come to terms with the fact that, like, my actual media career was probably done because COVID was so uncertain.
Right.
And then that one morning, he just called me out of the blue super early in the morning and said, yeah, there's a writer's position open again. Let me know what you're thinking. And that was one of the happiest days of my life because I always really wanted to come back here.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a temporary break while I was being a stay-at-home dad for a
Yeah.
bit. And I remember like setting that goal too. I said, okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to write and I'm going to keep my head down and work really hard, but I really want to do a little bit of on air. I don't want to be, Monday to Friday on air, but I would love to be able to dip my toe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had been here like 3 weeks and he came and knocked on my door, Andy Ross once again, and said, putting together this proposal for a show called Full Volume. We want this guy called Nigel Kicks.
yeah.
I want it to be you. And the fact that I had that silent secret goal of doing something on air,
It was all falling into place.
and like 3 weeks into my second run here, he just I didn't even have to bring it up. He just gave it to me.
Yeah.
I'm really, really proud that he believed in me and gave me that opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a career highlight for me.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Because that was something too that, and I've heard this phrase before, like nobody else is doing that. And nobody else was really doing that. And so right away it was unique and special. And you did such a great job.
Thank you.
Like Nigel, his persona, his character, his energy and passion, and I say that because he was a persona, it was you, was just something that we didn't have on Saskatoon radio. And unfortunately, Nigel went on a sabbatical.
He did.
But then Nigel kind of came back, but it's you, and you now do the detour.
Yeah.
And the same passion is there, the same love is there, and the same dedication to the music is there. And I still think that it's really cool that we have that.
Well,
so
thank you very much.
definitely props.
Playing a character was a little fun because I would dip into just like darkness once in a while to see if anybody was
Why
listening.
not?
And then I would just continue like I didn't say that. But it's also nice being me on the radio, which is
Yes.
something I never thought would happen.
And that's the thing, like when you are playing a character, you kind of have to, I don't want to say stay within constraints or whatever, but you are playing a character, which is not necessarily you yourself. It's you and Nigel both love music, but now you, Curtis, with your detour, this fully you, like this is your whole thing. And yeah, that's a huge, like to have your own show. Come on.
It was nice sitting at the adults table. Because again, like coming from a community television background, the on-air radio people are celebrities to me. And I'm not saying that
Really?
absolutely. Shaw TV, that's community television. I mean, it was fun and
Yeah.
it was great, and I loved every second of it until that last little bit. But there's a big difference between being on Channel 10 and being on Saskatoon morning radio.
And I don't know, I don't want to pull the whole like, oh, humble, whatever, but I still don't even think that way.
Sure.
So that when an instance happens where somebody's like, oh my God, are you Stacey Cooper? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like, yes, that is my job. That is what I do. And they are, you can see the excitement on their side of things. It's still very weird to me. Very, very weird.
Yeah.
But fun. So,
yeah.
Honestly.
So getting a seat at the adults table was really exciting for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know you've got more. I think I might be tapped out, seriously.
For
Career highlights.
career highlights?
No,
Oh, come on.
actually, you know what? I'm just going to take a quick little
Sure.
divergence because within my radio career, for a little tiny blip, I fled the coop and I went over and worked for the Children's Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
And so this is not a radio,
It doesn't have to be a radio.
but this is a life highlight. I was the Wish coordinator at the Children's Wish Foundation, which now in Saskatoon is Make-A-Wish. They
Yep.
combined forces, which, I don't know. Make-A-Wish is American. Children's Wish was Canadian. We piggybacked onto the American, whatever. But when it was Children's Wish, it was a very, very cool foundation to work for. I got to grant wishes for sick kids.
That life-changing.
Like who
Absolutely.
gets to have a wish granter
Yes.
on their resume. And so for 2 years I met with families and I granted wishes and I got to travel around the province to do interviews. I went to hospitals and presented to them to make sure that they were remembering us, and getting a wish through the foundation was a big part of like therapy for the child with a diagnosis of something, whether it was an illness or cancer. It was a big part of the therapy because it was like, here's something to look forward to. So I would go to the hospitals and make sure the doctors knew exactly what we did and how it worked and stuff. So that was a very
Rewarding.
super
Yeah.
rewarding, very sad in some instances, but super rewarding blip for me, where I got to do something that it's one of those jobs. I always say with radio too, it's so niche because there's accountants everywhere, teachers everywhere,
Yep.
Counselors, lawyers, what have you. But there are only X amount of on-air radio people in the city, and there's X amount of positions, right? Like they're here. That's it. And same with that one. It was so unique that being able to have that role for me was just awesome. And I look back on it very fondly.
Well, people listen to you every morning, and after a while, they feel like they know you, and that's a weird dynamic, right?
Yeah.
When they come up, they're like, Stacey, and they know everything about you.
Yeah.
Because they listen to you every
Because I
morning.
say everything about me.
And you're like, hi. Okay. What's your name?
It's almost like you forget what you do for a living, that you do share so much.
Yeah.
And then you're shocked when someone remembers, which is normal for people to do.
I don't have a Make-A-Wish resume, obviously, but we still do Strip Down Live, the music show.
Yes.
That's the one connection I still have with Shaw TV, which is now Rogers. We're coming up to episode 280. It's a
Unbelievable.
local music showcase we started back in 2008. And that project as well, what I thought I was going to get out of it and what I actually got out of it are two completely different things, like you said. And for me now that so much time has passed, I will run into people who watch episodes because they're all on YouTube because they have lost loved ones that were on the show. Oh. And never in a million years did I ever think people would be watching it through that lens.
Using you
And
like an
it's
archive.
Really heavy.
Yeah.
Like parents have lost their kids to suicide, and they will like corner me in the supermarket and be like, we watch this every Christmas Eve. Oh. And I'm like, because when you're trying to keep a show going and keep it entertaining. I mean, even Barry, rest in peace, that used to own Ultimo Euromoda.
Right.
He was my clothing sponsor for so long, and he loved giving me just the wackiest
Yep.
European fashion, which did not look like what most Saskatoon people are wearing.
Right,
Right.
fair
so
enough.
bless his soul. He was
Yep.
great. It was what I wanted. I wanted to be noticed. If you're channel surfing and you see me wearing a
Flashy collared
flash,
shirt.
maybe you'll stop and maybe that'll be enough. So it's
Yeah.
just one of the many components of the show. But I sit there and I think about me dressed in these loud clothing, turned up to 11, acting a fool, trying to keep this production going, this 1 hour live music show. And people are watching that to remember lost loved ones on specific days.
Yeah.
I still can't come to terms with that.
And
'Cause
that's
I don't want that version of me to be a part of that, if you know what I mean.
Well, unfortunately, it's there.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's
I-
on film.
I know.
It's on the internet.
But like, if I knew this was going to be a moment of like sadness for you and your family, or like happiness, I would like to be a different version of myself.
But the thing is that was that snapshot in time.
Yeah.
So you can't, like, are you now, next time you record, going to be a different version of yourself
No,
because somebody
but-
might watch it later?
But the earlier ones were a lot more lively, and I was a little more turned up to 11.
But the thing is, hate to break it to you, they're not watching it for you. They're
Sure.
watching it for their loved one, and you just happen to be there,
Yeah.
which is a pretty cool connection. Not what you anticipated, but still etched in time.
Yeah.
And it's very cool
Yeah.
because it's special and it's like heartwarming. I feel like you need to go to your next career highlight, which is like laying right next to you.
This was actually part of my my first career highlight too, because when my book was coming out at
I'm
Shaw,
talking to a published author, you guys.
I sold a novel.
You sold a novel.
Back in 2013, so it's been a while, but it lined up really well because when I worked for Shaw, they were really sticky about going out and doing publicity for other things, and I knew
yeah.
I was not going to be able to do, like CTV News at Noon. I wasn't going to be able to do all these local interviews because I was my name was assigned to
Yep.
local TV. So I gave my notice the day my book came out, which was like lined up perfectly.
Weird timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sold a novel.
What is it? Read it out.
It's called
Read it.
Gina French is Not a Waste of Roofies. Pause for shock. This was always my my working title to get it noticed.
Yep.
Never in a million years did I think that would be the title a publisher went with. And it worked. Let me tell you, aspiring authors, it worked. So many places I submitted it to were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Love the title, not for us. Good luck. You have something. Is honestly like the feedback I got constantly.
And that's cool.
And then a publishing house in Sweden grabbed it.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're keeping the title. And I said,
Okay.
are you sure? And they said, yeah. And they did all the art and everything. And it's actually really fun because it's published in the US. So it's like they own it in Sweden.
Right.
It's physically published in the US. And then it gets, like, the funds get transferred to me in Canadian. So it's like this big triangle. So
Would you rather have which currency would probably American, I'm guessing? What's the Swedish dollar like?
I have no idea. I mean, it does. It all, it all works out. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like that. I don't even have anything close to becoming a published author. I do have to like quickly give another cute little highlight. You and I got to host the exhibition parade one year together.
We did.
And that was me on Shaw TV.
You were, yeah.
And I'd never been on TV before. I shouldn't say that. I'd been on TV for like quick little things, but this was like a long duration sort of thing. It was a parade. And I just remember looking back on the footage. I didn't know where to look or what to do with
Yeah.
myself when I wasn't talking. Because in radio, nobody sees you
Yeah.
unless you're recording a clip you post. But what majority of the time, nobody sees you. And so then when you're sitting there staring at yourself on this television or on a tape for so long, you're like, God, Stacey, what are you doing with your hand? Oh, it was really hard for me.
Those were fun.
It was fun, though.
Every
So much
time
fun.
I had to host a parade, I would always reach out to a radio person, and I was in awe too because I was like, "Oh my god, Stacey Cooper!" Like
okay.
Stacey Cooper. I was serious. You don't. You radio people don't know how the rest of us see you.
You know what? We probably don't.
Radio has a reach, unlike obviously community television, but even like global and CTV, like the actual like legitimate news. I would say radio people are way more recognizable in the
Really?
city. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. If you rattled off the global weather guy, I bet you majority of people wouldn't know his name.
Well, and I
Or
wonder
her
if
name.
it has to do as well. Like, I haven't had cable for decades.
Well, there's that,
So
right?
I watch
Yeah.
it at my mom's house, Chantal Huber. I see her all the time in the afternoons, but I couldn't tell you who the morning show people are. No, definitely
I
not.
was like, hold on, your mom's Chantal Huber?
No.
Yes. No.
Really young when she had
Yes.
me. No. But I watched the news at my mom's. And yeah, the people are recognizable to me.
It's so funny how we cross paths like that because I was always starstruck. I was like, I can't believe these radio people want to come and do community television and call a parade. And every single person that came was always so excited. They're like, TV's so fun. I was like, is this TV?
It's the whole thing. Because you know what? I have poker straight hair, Curtis.
Yes.
And I want curly hair so bad.
Got you.
You always want what
Sure.
you don't have. And so getting to go and to have a dabble of TV when you're on the radio, very cool.
Amazing.
TV onto radio, super cool. So we've been having this crazy tag team for years now. And we have a perfect little hybrid almost.
My last career highlight, and this one just happened, was my karaoke night. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes.
I didn't even realize. Like this, if I am going to brag, this is my story.
Okay, backstory quick.
Okay. I was asked in November about a karaoke fundraiser for Telemiracle, the POW Kinsmen. They put on a celebrity, in quotes, karaoke fundraiser.
Yeah.
And the way it was originally pitched to me was that it was actually like a classy event, with all due respect. I talked to sales manager Kim.
I'm sorry.
And
really?
and yeah, and that was the impression I got. It was just that, would you want to do this? And like, I cannot sing at all, but I love the Kinsmen and friends of ours, Kyle and Alia from Campfire Media, were taking over the whole production of Telemiracle this year. So I wanted to like help them as well.
Right.
And so I said I would do it. And I am, the weekend guy here. I do not get invited to big events like you do.
You're also Shaw Cable Curtis.
Sure, but...
and you're like stripped down live Curtis.
Sure.
So take that.
But I don't usually get to represent this company at that level.
Right, okay.
So I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity, and I thought again it was going to be classy. So I said I can't sing, but I'm going to bring like a ringer. Like I'm going to surprise people. And so when I thought it was classy, that afternoon I called my friend Teresa Securka from Canadian Idol.
Name dropper.
And I was like, you gotta, like, I don't know where it is. I assumed it was going to be like the basement or something. I'm like, I'm going to bring you out of the crowd, and then we'll do like Islands in the Stream, and people are going to cheer because you're Teresa Securka. And she was like, hard pass. I was like, okay, that's fine. She was like, I don't really not really into performing right now, kind of taking a little. I was like, okay.
Fair enough.
And then the next week, when I found out that it was actually like a big drinking drunk fest, I went in a new direction, and I got a different ringer. I got the lovely Heather Gardens, Queen of Karaoke.
She's amazing.
Performer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I had her planted in the crowd, and then I got up on stage and I had my big droopy dog. This is going to go bad, but what's funnier than ruining one vocal arrangement? I'm going to ruin two. And then Dirty Dancing Time of Your Life came up and everybody cheered. And then I fumbled through the first male part. And then out of nowhere, these golden tones of an angel came from the crowd. And we had Heather planted in the crowd with her own mic, and she started singing and joined me on stage. And again, I can like 1 out of 10 sing, and she carried the show, and everybody laughed, and we had choreography. We had this thing all mapped out.
You tore your sleeves off of your dress shirt.
We spent an entire day practicing that, like a couple weeks out.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I was like, that was fun. And there was a whole bunch of people there that I wanted to impress for like a whole bunch of different reasons. Like you were there.
I was there. I saw it in person.
Like, again, you talk about my like looking up to morning show people. I'm like, Grayer was there. Ben Brooks was there. Kyle and Allie were there. People from the Kinsmen that I wanted to impress were there. Everybody here showed up and surprised me, which I didn't think I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Jodie Peters was there. Just a whole bunch of random people. And then, so we did it. It went well. I was really happy with it. And then like Tuesday, Wednesday, the next week, I was like still buzzing about it. I was like, why was this such a big deal? And I just never got to execute a performance like that.
Well, and that's the thing is, it wasn't a classy event. It was kind of like a go get another beer, and enjoy your night. So the expectations, I want to say, were minimal. We were just there for a fundraiser to have fun. We didn't know what you were going to sing, but I called it.
Yep.
Before you started singing, I was like, I hope he does Dirty Dancing.
Amazing.
And you did, and my mind was blown. And I'm just trying to say, like, the expectations were at a certain level, and you knocked him out of the park, and that's why you were buzzing about it, because you did really well.
And usually when I do stuff out of my comfort zone, I'm terrified. Even if I don't see it, I got the poker face. Like when I did stand-up comedy for the first and only time last November, I was absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
And this was just fun because I had the deck stacked where everyone around me had talent and it didn't matter that I didn't. You know, I was like, oh, I got to hit that G note. It was like, no,
it didn't.
I can either sing a 2 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
I just was so excited and I had so much fun up there. And, you know, doing this, you're always hosting events. You're always like the conduit to everyone else's vision. Mm-hmm. And that was like one of the few times I got to come up with something. It was a little rock and roll, a little WWF. And
let's see.
and I got people to cheer for my singing when I can't sing. Like I got to perform and had that cheer.
The people cheered for your performance.
Okay. Yeah.
As a whole.
As a whole.
They weren't cheering for your singing. They weren't cheering for the sleeve ripping off, bringing
Jumping
Heather
off the
in.
stage.
It was the whole package. And that's what I mean is it was done so well because it was almost like your singing was about a 1 or a 2.
Yep.
I love you. It was
No,
not
it was
amazing.
terrible.
But the thing is, the rest of everything else brought it up and made it so good.
I was there that afternoon working with Mike Gage to get a microphone to Heather because like we didn't even make eye contact. She just came and sat at a different table. We didn't even look at each other. I was like, hey, you got to get this microphone to Heather. We have to tell the DJ what's going to happen. And like, we were like, please make sure that mic is on because if she stands up and singing and the mic isn't on, it's dead. It's over. So, and then I'm practicing jumping off the stage at 4:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, are my knees gonna, because it's a pretty high stage. I'm like, I got to jump into the crowd. And yeah, so anyway, that was an odd career highlight.
But a really fun one. And again, it's been etched in stone. It's on tape, so you can look back on it in 20 years and be like, kids, grandkids, look at this, your grandpa. This is what I did that one time. And they'll be able to like have this cool little memory, you know? So
We raised a lot of money. I don't know if I did, but we as a whole raised a lot of money.
yeah,
and,
it was part of it.
Yeah. Afterwards, my greatest compliment was Jody Peters to his giant teenage son and his friend. You know, winning over teenage boys is pretty tough. That's a tough audience.
Let's face it.
They came up and he was just like, oh my God, that was so funny. Oh, and he was just like losing his mind. And that made me feel so good. That's one of my favorite compliments ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That is definitely, that might be my career highlight.
Well,
Isn't that
there
crazy?
you go. And no, it's not because it's always, there's no way to gauge these either. Like, oh, you met Rihanna and you did a cooking show at Gardenscape. Very different things, but meaningful in different ways, you know?
I was really happy that you put the Gardenscape cooking show on.
I didn't put the show on.
No, but like as a career highlight.
Yeah.
Because people look at what we do and be like, well, obviously when you hung out with Rihanna, that's a career highlight. But it's like, actually,
Yeah.
being me and having the opportunity to have a platform to showcase something I'm actually like interested in, something that's just me 100%.
Yeah.
Is almost better.
There's a lot of times where in radio, and even probably yours too, like whether it's an interview or an appearance or a hosting or whatever, where you don't necessarily align with the situation, the sponsor, the person, whatever. And so it becomes a little bit more of a task because you're like trying to sell something or trying to work in the situation. And yeah, this one was right up my alley, like 100%. So as nervous as I was, like my heart was pounding. Yeah. I didn't sleep the night before because I was going to cook in front of people. But it didn't matter. It's all relative, right? Like it's whatever you decide to take as one of the great things that's happened to you.
I'm obsessed with your future cooking show. I'm not even joking.
Well,
let's make it happen. What's it called? Cooking with Coop? Hanging with Cooper?
Alliteration, man. It's
Right?
annoying, but it just works.
It works. It's 90% of my life. Writing for a radio station.
God, radio and alliteration.
Are you kidding me?
Best
That's all I got.
things.
It's the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alliteration is it's fun, but let's work on it. Maybe we can go for drinks and
The cooking show. I got cameras.
Yeah.
And I got nothing but
got knives.
studio space.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who knows, ladies and gentlemen? This might be the start of a career highlight for me.
There
You
it
never
is.
know. That does it for episode 10. Season 2 of the Out of Tune podcast. We're going to do this again, believe it or not.
I don't think we sounded obnoxious.
No.
Look at us pulling that off.
That was the humblest brag you just gave right there.
Right?
I don't think we
I don't
sounded
think
obnoxious at all.
I don't think we lost listeners.
Thank you, as always, for listening. And we'll do this again next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Cruise FM Out of Tune podcast. Check back for new episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at cruisefm.com.